Morning, Facebook. How are we? I'm coming to you live from very rainy and cold Milton Keynes. What are we all doing? What are we all up to? So, this morning I feel like this video might become a little bit of a rant. I'm going to try not to. I'm going to try and deliver some value to you guys. But this week and last week, I had my inbox fill up, as I normally do, with deals from various different sources in the industry. Some of them are people I've never heard of. No idea how I got on their marketing lists, but I guess they're refreshing and re-engaging for... Oh, I cut off there, sorry guys. I guess they're refreshing and re-engaging for GDPR and sending out marketing, which is fine. Well done, you guys. It's good work. I've had some emails from big name trainers, sources, big brand, big people that we know and trust in the industry. And honestly, I'm a little bit fucked off with seeing deals coming through that are generally rent-to-rent deals, but some other types of deals that just don't stack at all. They just don't stack. And my fear is that people are buying these deals because they're new and they don't know how to compare those numbers with the reality of running these types of properties and these types of strategies inside of their own businesses. So what seems to be happening is that people are putting out shit deals, and then especially rent to rent is getting a bad name because people are buying deals and saying, oh, rent to rent doesn't work, I lost loads of money. Well, you lost loads of money because you bought deals from people that had no idea what they were selling you, or were greedy and misleading you down the route of telling you were going to make money when you weren't. To give you an example of this, right, I had a deal this week that came over, which was, and I was sent this by 3 different contacts of mine. They'd been sent it by this particular person, and they all sent it to me saying, Sarah, what do you think of this deal? We're considering it. And these are like brand new people that I'm working with and sort of training and stuff like that. And we put it through the calculators that we use, and one of them was a 5-bed, so like a HMO type site, and it was on a rent-to-rent basis, and it was claiming that it would make £950 net profit per month. Now, on the surface, if that was true, that's a cracking little deal. All day long, you would pay a fee for that deal if it genuinely gave you £950 a month. But what this person had failed to do when they sent the numbers out and sent this deal out was actually break the numbers down. So they had, I think it was £2,400 rent, and they had 3,500 or maybe 3,600 or something like that coming in. Now, I know on instant looking at that, I know that that's not going to work and give £950, because obviously the difference between those two numbers is almost £950, right? You've got, when you are doing your numbers, you've got to remember, and for anybody that's looking at deals that are coming from other people, trusted people, big brand names, I don't care, me included, make sure that you do the numbers yourself and you run through this, okay? So you have to include the things that you're going to pay for, the operational cost of running your business, okay? Utilities, gas, electric, water, TV license, okay? That will never total £200 a month. It will always be more than that for 5 people, definitely. Morning, Louise, how are you? It will always be more than that. We use £65 per person per month for gas, electric and water. So when you times that by 5, that's £325 on a 5-bed. Plus, you need a TV licence, okay? Then you need council tax, okay? And in all the deals that I've seen, the ones that I'm having a little moan about, not a single sourcer had bothered to include what the council tax charges were. Unless I'm doing something wrong, and maybe you guys can correct me on this, but we have to pay council tax. So it has to go into the numbers. It has to. Okay, so that has to be paid for out of the deal. It's not net profit if you've still got to pay for your council tax out of it. Okay, so that £950 net profit isn't £950 because already we've got utilities that were put really low and council tax that wasn't even included. After that, they also didn't bother to put in things like insurance costs. Now, if you're like me and you're running rent to rent where you don't pay a deposit, you actually take out a rent guarantee, an emergency, we've got like a bond basically that means that we don't, because we've not been trading for 3 years, it negates the need for us to pass referencing and pay big deposits. So we have an insurance product for that. Obviously that needs to be paid. Now I understand that not everybody's doing that, and some people are paying deposits, and that's fine, but you still need to have public liability insurance. Okay, because if one of your tenants falls down the stairs and breaks their neck, okay, if you're not insured, that's going to be you that they're going to come after. Okay, morning Julie, how are you? Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Okay, it's you that they're going to come after. And if you've not paid for your insurance, then that has to come out of your net profit. So already we've gone from 950 right down to probably about 600 at this point. Okay, what they also hadn't bothered to factor in is voids. Now, unless I'm doing something wrong, and again, guys, correct me if I'm getting this wrong, right? But you're never going to have 100% occupancy all of the time. Yeah, all right, we run at 100% occupancy a lot of the time, but even when you've got a few days between, you know, a tenant moving out and a tenant moving in, or a week between having a corporate client that's swapping out or whatever it might be, you're going to have days that are going to be void. Now, when you're sourcing these deals and you're doing the numbers, and if you're presenting these deals to people that are going to buy these deals from you, your job is to present the facts. Your job is not to present the best case scenario. If anything, it's to present the worst case scenario. Voids have to be factored in. It's important. Okay, we work our voids out on a basis that we believe that every single room in that house will be empty for a full billing period every 12 months. Now, we know that that's quite a high void buffer. Okay, we get that. But it means that if that happens, we are covered. It's never going to be more than everyone empty for a whole month. And the easy way to do that, by the way, is gross income divided by 12. That gives you that answer without having to work it out yourselves. We put that in every single calculation that we do, because that way then we're presenting the worst case scenario. We're not presenting the best case scenario, because let's be honest, in property, nothing is guaranteed. Okay, in property, things go wrong. Okay, make sure you're covering those things. Another really crucial thing that was missing from these deals that I've seen this week, maintenance. The whole concept of rent to rent, unless again I'm doing something wrong, but I hope I'm not. If you're dealing direct to landlord, okay, the whole concept of rent to rent is that you absorb the work, the maintenance, the repairs and things like that. I know when I deal with agents, I don't pay for maintenance. My agents retain the maintenance works, and that's what helps us to build those relationships. But these deals were predominantly direct to landlord. Now, I obviously don't know how they were positioned in front of the landlord, because I wasn't on those conversations. But when they were positioned to me inside of these emails, it said that the rent-to-rent operator was responsible for repairs and maintenance, and yet not a single pound had been put aside to handle the costs of repairs and maintenance on those deals. So who's paying for that maintenance and those repairs? It's coming straight out of the net profit of £950. So we've now gone from a deal that was net profit of £950 down to something like £450. And when I did the numbers on a couple of these, right, we're looking at between £250 a month profit, actual profit, and £400. Now, I know £400 a month is not a terrible profit. I understand, actually, that a lot of people would love to have, 5 or 10 of those, spitting out £400 a month. I understand that, okay? And that's your choice. It's your prerogative to take the deals that are right for you. But the sourcing industry, the packaging industry, and the trainers, because some of these came from trainers that are sending out deals claiming £950 net profit when in fact it's £400, is setting people up to fail, and it's not fair. Okay, so what I wanted to do this morning is, I appreciate I'm on a bit of a rant, but I wanted to raise the awareness of this and make sure that you guys share this video to anybody that you know who is starting to source deals for themselves, or starting to source deals using sources who are buying deals from other people. Because it seems that there is too much of this happening, and it's not fair that people who are starting out in this industry, because ultimately a lot of the people that are buying sites from sources, they're two ends of the spectrum. Either they've got loads of money and no time, and they need somebody like me to be able to build their portfolio with them, or they're brand new and they don't know how to do this stage yet. Now, if you're very successful and you already know what you're doing, you're never going to buy a deal that looks like this, because you already have your own calculations, you already have your own rules, your own steps to take it through to make sure that you do the numbers right. Okay, so at that end of the spectrum, I'm not worried about you guys. You guys know what you're doing. Okay, what I am worried about is the people that, you know, there's a couple of people even on this call that I can see who are brand new to this and are sending me deals to say, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? And every single one I'm kicking back and saying, well, actually, when you do the numbers like this and you factor in all these different costs, it doesn't stack. It doesn't make sense. It's a misleading number. Then it raises a question to me. If they're misleading you about the financials, have they got the right contracts in place? Have they positioned rent to rent in the way that you would want it to be positioned in front of that landlord? Have they stuck to the rules? Are they compliant? Are they insured as a sourcer? It just raises a million other questions. It makes me very nervous for you guys who are just getting started. So if you, my call to action for you this morning, I appreciate it's a bit of a low tone for a Friday morning. I am in a great mood, actually. I'm just a bit grumpy about this point. Share this video with as many people as you can, because actually, if it helps to just raise the awareness for people to think, to stop and look at the numbers that you get sent, because let's be honest, we all get them all the time. Some of the deals are amazing. Some of the deals you should grab with both hands, okay? There are deals coming out all the time that are brilliant. I don't want to say that everybody's doing it wrong, because they're not. But what I really want to raise awareness of is that you actually just simply double check. Is that you don't take for gospel the numbers that are put in front of you. As an investor buying a deal from anybody, it's your responsibility to do your due diligence. It's your responsibility to check that everything's working. It's your responsibility to make sure that that deal is going to give you what they say it is. And, you know, looking at things like the break-even points, the true break-even points. If you're spending £12,000 and you're making £300 a month, that's not a good deal. It's just not. Okay, so make sure you do the numbers, make sure you do the check-in, make sure you actually engage and find out that the deal that you're going to be buying or the deal that you're assessing makes sense for real. Have an amazing day, guys. I'm going to get off my soapbox now and jump back into some work this morning. I will speak to you all soon. Have an amazing weekend. I hope you've had an awesome week. Mine's been pretty awesome. I will speak to you guys soon. See ya. Bye.